Hey, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be, I guess now I'll just call it like a hip mobility series. I already uploaded one video about the frog rocks for hip mobility. On this one, we're gonna work on, it's been called, I've heard it called different things, 90-90, shinbox, and also hip switches. So they're all like the same in my opinion, or what it seems like they're all the same. But I'm gonna add a little bit or make you think about it differently than you have in the past if you've done these before. But let's just go ahead and get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe, throw that in there. So we're gonna start off with your feet hips width, or even a little bit wider is also good. Basically what you wanna do is when you drop your knees to the side, you want your knees to wind up in like a 90-degree angle on both legs. Another way you can look at it is you want your knee to fall behind your foot. So you don't need to be super spread out. That really doesn't work that well for what we're gonna be doing. I mean, you can sit here and do this, and that's fine. We're gonna be adding a little bit to that. And you also definitely don't wanna be on top like this. You don't wanna wind up just doing this. So you wanna be spread out pretty good, but not too much. So I like to put my knee like maybe 4 inches behind my heel. All right, so starting in that position, when we get back here, we want to kind of use our feet as a pivot point. And we're just going to build up to it's going to wind up being a flow in a little bit, but we're just going to start off slow and we'll just build. So hands behind you, pushing yourself away, always actively pushing yourself away from the ground. We never want to be slouched like this, right? So always constantly pushing ourselves away from the ground, and go ahead and keep your hands back there the whole time for this. There's some people that you'll see and they're doing it here like this, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're just not going to worry about that right now. All right. So we're just going to be here pushing ourselves away nice and tall, and we're just going to drop our knees side to side. All right. So your hand will slide a little bit. That was the mat. That was not me. Nice and easy. Notice how I'm kind of sitting up a little bit while I'm doing it. You don't need to hang back. If you need to sit up, that's fine. All right, so we're just going to start here. Nice and easy, just trying to breathe in and out of our nose. Try to just think about our hips just being nice and open, nice and loose, nice and relaxed. All right, now from here, this is where it might be a little bit different than if you've done this before. Now I want you to think about, now that we've kind of loosened up the hips a little bit, I want you to think about opening up as much as you can. So whatever leg is moving first, you're just going to keep moving that leg until you can open up as wide as you can where you're actually now pulling that trailing leg behind you to get to here. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but I'm opening. So see how instead of doing this, I'm opening up as wide as I can until I just can't open up anymore. And then I'm going to allow this motion to pull this leg across. So more like that. And everyone's range could be more than like for some people, this might be it. For other people, they might be able to open up way more than I can. I have tight hips. I have to work on my hips all the time. All right, so opening and pulling across. All right, so now we're going to add to that. All right, so now we're going to open, let that leg pull across. Now from here, we're going to pick up the one hand and reach on an angle and look behind us. Now I'm getting a nice stretch in this hip flexor and that lat and that side like that. And then we're going to come sit back down, open up as wide as we can, pull this other leg over, sit up nice and tall, reach. So my butt is coming up off the ground when I reach. Come back down. All right, so let me bring myself back here. So here, reach, back down. All right, pull. Try to remember, I forgot that one time. Try to pull that leg, open up as wide as you can. Reach. All right, we're going to do one more on this side. So open, pull that leg across, and reach. Now on this next one, we're going to add even more. So I'm going to slide over here just to make sure that I stay in frame. All right, so pivoting on the feet, opening as wide as we can. Now my hand's going to drop back, pulling that trail leg behind. Still doing this reach. So again, we're adding to it. So we're still doing this one. And now from here, we're going to take this back leg, bring it forward, and come up to a half kneeling position. From here, with the same side arm, we're going to reach again, making sure we keep this heel on the ground. So the idea is we want to get this knee past the toe as much as possible with keeping the heel on the ground. So basically working on ankle mobility. So I'm going to reach. You can put this other hand down if you need to, but try to relax too. Like, don't grip your feet. Don't try to squeeze the floor with your feet. Relax your feet, reach as far as you can, then come back, put the hand down, swing this leg all the way back behind you so you wind up back in the shin box position. You don't need to move back here. I'm just doing this to make sure that you can see everything on the video. That's why I'm moving myself around. And then we're just going to go their side, open up, pull this leg across, reach, reaching, and then from there stepping, and then doing that reach. Keeping try to get that knee past the toe as much as you can, heel on the ground, okay? So the reason we're adding that reach in to a hip mobility exercise is because your ankle mobility can affect your hip mobility. So if you don't have good ankle mobility, your knee more than likely will be first, but then it will transfer, or it could just transfer right up into your hip because your gait pattern is going to be all screwed up, which will then create imbalances in your hip eventually. So that's why adding this ankle mobility actually helps with hip mobility. All right, so I'm going to kind of go through a couple just to give you an idea how like the whole flow from beginning to end will work. And I'll do like a couple on each side. When you do it, feel free to do each one for as long as you want. If you don't have time and you want to just go right into the whole thing, that's fine too. But if I was just going to go and just start warming up, like just haven't done anything yet, I'm just going this way now. Just nice and easy. Everything's kind of going at the same time. Just kind of try to get those hips warmed up. Get them, lube them up. Motion is lotion. All right, now I'm going to start to add to open them up. Open up as much as I can. Pull that leg across. Open up as much as I can. Going to do that a few times. And then I would go into the reach. I think called tripod reach, I believe. That's what I've heard it called. And remember, still not trying to open up as wide as I can and pull that trail leg across. If it gets to a point, I know it sounds like I'm ripping ass, I'm not, it's the mat. And always try to make sure you're even outside. So now I'm going to go the whole thing here, reach to the step, get that knee past that toe as much as I can, come all the way around. Don't sit and wind up here because it's going to screw it up. So all the way around to here, pull that leg across. And you're going to wind up moving around, that's fine. Reach. And then step. Reach, keeping that heel down, knee past the toe. Try it again. Try to relax. Like just to give you an idea. The reason I'm saying that again is you got to be mindful because I just did it. I was here and that's as far as I can go because I was gripping the mat with my foot and it was all tensed up through here. Once I relaxed, I was able to go even further. All right, so it's all about trying to relax and opening up and just letting your body just open up and just kind of let go of the tension while you're doing that. Whenever you're doing any sort of mobility, stretching type of things, you have to let go of the tension to be able to try to reach that full range of motion that you have. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this one. This is one of my favorite ones. I do this one all the time. Frog rocks I do all the time. This one I do all the time. And I don't always do them together. Sometimes I'll do like frog rocks in the morning and then some shin box stuff in the afternoon. Everything doesn't have to be all at the same time. You don't need 20 minutes to do this. Literally 2 to 3 minutes of just playing around with the Shinbox, 2 to 3 minutes of frog rocks, 1 minute of frog rocks, 2 minutes of the Shinbox flow. Like, it all is beneficial. The only thing that you don't ever want to do is not do it. So hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I'm not going to point, but I'll put up right about now should be when the video for the frog rock is going to pop up on the screen. So if you want to go check that one out. And then I'm going to do at least one more probably next week on another hip. It's hip mobility, but this one is actually more strengthening, but you need strength in your hips for them to be mobile, so it would still fall under hip mobility. So make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you make sure you don't miss this next hip mobility exercise.